Next on UK Student News Network, live at 4. Today was a time to mourn over the deaths of the Boston bombing. A Healing Our City interfaith service held for the Boston community.
And the nation is fired up after the Senate votes down extended background checks. What now? We have details.
And taking it to the streets. Angry Venezuelans refuse to accept the results after that country's presidential election. These stories and more on UK Student News Network, live at 4. Hello and welcome to UK Student News Network, live at 4. I'm Garrett Gapehart.
And I'm Candace Cruz. Several top stories for you for this hour. An update on the Boston bombings and a huge explosion last night in Texas. And here right at home, hundreds of new jobs coming right to central Kentucky. Toyota Motor Corporation plans to create 750 new jobs at its facility in Georgetown. The Wall Street Journal reports the car will be a Lexus brand luxury vehicle. The Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority has approved $146.5 million in state tax incentives to help with the cost. Toyota is proposing a $531 million expansion at the Georgetown facility. Again, Toyota says this expansion will bring with it 750 new jobs to the Georgetown plant.
Shifting gears now to a plant in Texas where that powerful explosion lit up the evening sky. It happened at a Texas fertilizer plant in West Texas last night around 8:45 p.m. The blast registered at a magnitude of 2.1 seismic event. It's reported that there are more than 160 people injured, as many as 15 dead, but that number is changing hour by hour. Currently, there are still worries that a second tank at the same facility may explode. Investigators continue their search for who is responsible for the Boston bombing on Monday. But the city's community has come together to remember the 3 killed in the attack and those that are still recovering from injuries. Boston officials have officially confirmed that 3 people have died and 176 were injured. 17 of those injured were listed in critical condition. Injuries varied from significant head and neck injuries to limb amputations. President Obama gave his condolences not only to the Boston community, but to the entire country.
We also come together today to reclaim that state of grace, to reaffirm that the spirit of this city is undaunted, and the spirit of this country shall remain undimmed.
Businesses, events, and cities alike have boosted security measures following the Boston bombing that killed 3 and left over 170 people injured. The London Marathon will take place this Sunday, and the same senior security force responsible for the London Olympics and the Paralympics safety will also be spread out during the marathon to assure safety. And unlike last year's London Marathon, this year will have multiple twisting turns, allowing potential security holes. The London Marathon officials are scheduled to speak with the Metropolitan Police up until race day to cooperate and ensure public safety. Security plans are modified every year, and following the Boston bombing, Metropolitan Police are keeping an even closer eye on security. An estimated 37,000 people are set to run for this marathon.
A group of senators are working to pass an immigration bill that adds more security to the Mexican border. Bipartisan group The Gang of Eight has filed an immigration reform bill. That bill would allow those seeking legal residency to live and work in the U.S. under a legal visa. It also calls for an added 3,500 custom officers to control the Mexican border.
The U.S. Senate has denied a proposal that would expand background checks on gun sales. The plan needed 60 votes to pass, with the final tally being 54 to 46. The Congress is still considering other gun control legislation, including a proposal ban on military-style semi-automatic firearms.
UK President Eli Capilouto has addressed the possibility of violence on campus.
He says it's our duty to ensure the safety of our fellow students. Capilouto sent a mass email to students and staff lamenting the deaths in Boston. Capilouto reminds students that, quote, we must always be vigilant and that any suspicious activities should be reported to law enforcement. And not only is UK taking measures to keep its students safe, but the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet is talking about work zone safety.
And Michelle Metz will tell you what to expect when driving in a work zone.
This is one of the busiest roads in Lexington, Newtown Pike.
Some other tips when driving is to not tailgate, expect the unexpected, and call 511 for traffic and travel information.
The presidential election in Venezuela creates chaos in the streets. That tops our look at international news. People are rioting. Shortages are everywhere in Venezuela during post-Hugo Chavez era. Only 4 baguettes per person. There won't be more flour until the end of the month. State-run media reports that 7 people have died following Sunday's election. The opposition isn't backing down in their demand for a recount amid accusations of fraud. Aid workers are rushing to bring food and relief supplies to people in Iran and Pakistan after Tuesday's massive 7.8 earthquake. Pakistani officials say at least 35 people are dead and more than 150 are injured.
New Zealand is now the 13th nation to legalize same-sex marriage. The law will take effect in 4 months. Uruguay passed a similar bill earlier this month.
It's postseason time for many UK teams this time of year. Stay tuned for how they are doing.
And this is just capping off what a lot of recruiting experts are calling one of the best classes that have ever come to play college basketball.
Can't wait.
I'm excited. Thanks, Stuart. Today has been a beautiful day, but will the wonderful weather continue into the weekend?
And the Arboretum will have some new additions coming soon. We'll tell you how this may affect Lexington neighborhoods when we return.
The Arboretum may have changes headed its way, and the Arboretum right now does not allow cyclists to ride its trails. Regardless of this rule, many continue to cut through this shortcut to campus. But a new trail is in the Arboretum and is made just for cyclists and is currently in the works. UK will soon be able to add one more facelift renovation project to the list. And now Isabel Rosales is joining us with the weather. So Isabel, what do we have to look forward to for this week?
Well, finally Kentucky's catching up to the temperatures. It is going to be a very springful type of weekend, especially for today. You're going to see the highest temperatures, and I'll go ahead and show you right over here. Today the temperatures will be 79 degrees and sunny. Do expect high winds. So if you're going out tonight, definitely make sure to grab a jacket. For the rest of the week,
So here's hoping we see that sun for Derby Day, right?
right, definitely. I think your chances are pretty good this week unless Kentucky throws us another curveball.
I wouldn't be surprised. But an investigation into an invasion of privacy and a police surveillance video released of America's Sweetheart. We will give you your update on your entertainment news when we get back. And in the world of Hollywood, the most beautiful have been named. America's Sweetheart was arrested, and millionaire actors are living below the poverty line. Here's your entertainment now. People magazine named Gwyneth Paltrow the world's most beautiful woman of 2013. She says at first she couldn't believe it and thought someone was playing a practical joke on her. But no jokes here. Paltrow graces the cover of the magazine on stands now. 3 people are currently under investigation in France over the publication of photos of Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. Topless photos of Prince William's wife, Catherine, are published in the French edition of Closer. A magazine publisher, photographer, and regional newspaper are all being investigated for invasion of privacy. And Zach Braff is calling all of his fans to help him with making a comeback in filmmaking. Braff is attempting to raise all of his funding for the follow-up of his movie of 2004 film Garden State through the website Kickstarter. America's Sweetheart Reese Witherspoon was recently arrested for disorderly conduct after interfering with her husband's DUI arrest. The Atlanta police released a video of the 37-year-old actress being taken out of a patrol car by a trooper, releasing her from handcuffs and leading her into jail on early of April 19th. And Ben Affleck, he will be taking a role like never before. He's actually involved in challenging himself to live in extreme poverty circumstances to show his support for the Global Poverty's Project Live Below the Line campaign. His challenge to spend only $1.50 on food each day for 5 days. And that's your entertainment now.
Thank you for watching UK Student News Network live at 4. I'm Garrett Gapehart.
And I'm Candace Cruz. Thanks for watching.